At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Do Hom An, the chairman of the Vietnamese community of DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and he will have opening remarks for the award ceremony. Thank you, Mr. An.
Good afternoon, everybody.
I should run for Congress in this room.
President of Vietnam Human Rights Network, President of National Congress of Vietnamese Americans, ladies and gentlemen, human rights are the basic rights that everybody must have without fighting for them, even with their proclamation of Universal Declaration of Human Rights on this day 61 years ago. Human rights are the people's right that every nation must respect, regardless race, culture, religion, etc. Nevertheless, there's a place where those rights have been taken away by government. There's a place where people have been persecuted, jailed, beaten, and even killed for peacefully demanding for the basic rights, such as the freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, etc. And that place is so-called Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Meanwhile, in overseas, there's hundreds of thousands of organizations with different political views, with different strategies, but they have a common goal. That is helping to restore human rights for their 85 million fellow countrymen in Vietnam. And one of the most active organizations is Vietnam Human Rights Network, who created the Human Rights Awards in 2002. And you know, the awards usually are very small, but they represent a great appreciation, a great support from the Vietnamese people around the world to human rights activists in Vietnam. And this year's the award ceremony is first time held in Washington, D.C. to, give out the awards to writer Trần Cái Tân Thủy and Pastor Quyền Chính, who bravely stood up for their human rights despite the Vietnamese Communist government threatened oppression, detention, and isolation. So on behalf of the Vietnamese American community of Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, I would like to express our sincere gratitude and congratulations to Mrs. Trần and Pastor Nguyen, who are not able to be here to receive their awards. I wish everybody a happy holidays, good health, and strong faith in order to support our human rights activists in Vietnam. And we all believe with our strong support, one day our human rights activists and 85 million people in Vietnam will be free and they will get back their human rights that they deserve. That day is not far away. Thank you very much.
I would like to invite Dr. Nguyễn Quốc Quân, Chair of the International Committee of Support for the Non-Violent Movement for Human Rights in Vietnam. Dr. Quân.
I know that we don't have too much time, and I don't want to waste your time. A lot of people, a lot of speakers are waiting to speak. So I just want to say that first of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee for inviting me to participate in this very important in meaningful event. The 61st commemoration of the Declaration of Human Rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and also the annual presentation of Award of Human Rights Award organized by the Vietnam Human Rights Network. And on behalf of Dr. MLNQ, on behalf of all members of the Cao Trào Nhân Bản and the International Committee to support Cao Trào Nhân Bản, I sincerely congratulate Pastor Nguyễn Công Chính and Mrs. Trần Khải Thanh Thủy for the honor to be chosen to receive the Human Rights Award this year. And as the president of the Vietnamese American community in this area just mentioned, 61 years ago, the General Assembly of the United Nations proclaimed and issued the Universal Declarations of Human Rights. In that, it clearly stated that all human beings are born equal, independent, freedoms, and entitled to receive all the basic human rights. But the Vietnamese government is as a member of the United Nations, and they already ratified, already accepted the Universal Declarations of Human Rights. But instead of protecting, instead of giving to the Vietnamese people on the basic right, they abuse, they deprive of the Vietnamese people on these basic rights, which is clearly mentioning in the Declaration, Universal Declarations of Human Rights. And it's worse than in order to claim to fight for the works record. The Vietnamese government said that these rights, the basic rights mentioning in the Declaration of Human Rights, are only reserved for the Western people, and they are not suitable for the Vietnamese based on its traditional values and culture. This is totally absurd. We cannot accept. We are the people. We are fortunate to live in this free country. We have we can speak ourselves, speak our voice without being intimidated, to be harassed or jailed. So we have to speak for our Vietnamese compatriots at home. They don't have the right to speak. They cannot speak for themselves. So we have to speak for themselves and to fight for them to have the same freedoms that we enjoy here. And in order to fight effectively, we have to be united. We have to speak with one voice, like from Senator Brownback to West Royce to Joseph Cao, they all advise us. We have to be united. We have to speak with one voice, so our voice can be heard, so our demand can be listened. In that spirit, I congratulate the Mr. Pastor Nguyễn Công Chính and writer Trần Khải Thanh Thủy, and I wish the ceremony today every success. Many thanks.